Welcome, everyone. My name is Anna DiTommaso, and I am here with the creator of Popfly Pop Shop, Daniel Jacob Horine, and a man who probably needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyways. We have 12-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove winner, 6-time Silver Slugger Award winner, career 3,110 hits, 465 home runs, 1,833 RBI, and of course, immortalized forever in Cooperstown as he should be, Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Anna, Daniel, I'm doing great out here in Los Angeles. Thank you for that introduction. I'm embarrassed, almost.
I'm thrilled to be here, so I just want to dive straight in. For those who aren't familiar with Popfly, maybe you're here as a fan of Dave. Each week, Daniel drops a new art piece in the style of a comic book cover, and you have 1 week to order it before it's retired forever. This week's piece, of course, featuring Big Dave, Dave Winfield. And I think Daniel's going to share the cover on the screen now. So this is available until Sunday night at popflypopshop.com. And a couple of different inscription options available. Autographed and autographed with the Hall of Fame 01 inscription are a couple of those different options. So before we get started on our end, if you guys have questions for Dave, make sure you drop those into the chat here, and Daniel will be watching that, and we'll make sure to get those, to him. But Dave, it's got to be pretty cool seeing yourself immortalized as a comic book character on this cover. I got to know, what's your reaction? Are you a fan of comic books? Were you, did you grow up with them? What do you think?
Oh yeah. I grew up in Minnesota, and they started with DC Comics, Superman and all that, but then they went to Marvel. See, young people think that that's a recent kind of thing, but that's a little over 50 years ago or whatever. But so those are my heroes, and I've never been on a comic book cover, I don't believe, and it's nice. It looks good. I mean, you captured everything. Captured, some of this, But Daniel, I gotta ask you, what helped you do me? I mean, I'm 6'6", big guy in San Diego. Tell me, what was your motivation?
Well, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, so we had the Dodgers here, we had the Angels. So in my mind, I came after the Padres era. So in my mind, you're an Angel, but so you've been on my radar since I was a kid, and just thinking about some of the great nicknames, some of the great characters and players of the game. Big Dave Winfield.
Yeah.
And I love that moniker, and just you hit it right on the head. Those big arms there, and taking the whole entire space of the frame. It was a really fun one to make. I had made a couple different iterations, but just Big Dave looking like Big Dave on the cover, that was just the way to go.
Yeah, well, I'll just say, I started my career in San Diego, and we had that yellow and brown, and they have different iterations of it still today. And, that's where I did my first everything down in San Diego. And then I went to the Hall of Fame as a Padre. So I really appreciate it. I like the artwork a lot. I think it's pretty cool what you guys do in this Popfly Pop Shop. It's new to me, but the artwork, you're selling them, and some will be autographed, and it's good stuff, man. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you, Dave.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dave. So I have a couple of questions for you. I'd like to get started with, I know you as a multi-sport athlete. I think anybody who knows anything about your career knows that you were one of a very few athletes over the course of history drafted by not only one professional sports league, but multiple, and you, of course, MLB, NBA, and NFL. At what point in your life did you start to kind of think that you were going to be more of a baseball player than either of those other sports?
Even though I played the other sports, baseball was the first thing I played. My brother Steve and I, and baseball was the number one sport in America. Young people might not recognize that, but it was the number one sport. You had, Mays and Mantle and and Yankee teams, and that was the number one sport in America. It wasn't the NBA, it wasn't NFL, and I know I was 12 years old, and people would ask me, "What do you want to be? Professional baseball player?" "Oh, shut up, man! You don't know what you want." "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." And there was no one in my family leading the way. I only had experienced maybe less than a handful of professional games in my entire life. We'd go with one of the neighbors who would have, they called them, what did they call them? Knothole gang. We'd go with a bunch of kids from the neighborhood, sit out in the bleachers in left field, maybe catch a doubleheader. But I didn't get a chance to, go on the field or meet a lot of these people personally. But I wanted to be a baseball player from the beginning.
Yeah, I think you made the right choice. I know you didn't ask me what I thought about that, but I think you did just fine for yourself. So, Daniel, if you would pull up the cover one more time for us to look at, I have a couple of questions for you, maybe a couple for Dave. Um, you know, the first thing that is catching my eye here is that Dave is standing in a Padres uniform, and I know you mentioned, Dave, that you're in the hall as a Padre on your plaque.
Mhm.
Why San Diego? I think fans of all the teams that you've had played for will all have the same question of what is it about San Diego that made you feel like that's what you wanted to go into the Hall of Fame as?
Well, as you know, I played for 6 different teams, 22 years, both leagues, both coasts, both countries. And my time was split almost evenly between San Diego and New York. But when it came down to it, it's like, who drafted me? Who gave me the opportunity to go to the big leagues right away? Not minor leagues, scuffling and down in Bluefield, West Virginia or somewhere. No offense to the set, but when I was a senior in high school, how about this? The Orioles drafted me as a pitcher, like 35th round or something like that. And I said, nah, I think I'll go to school. I think I'll go to school. So, Padres gave me a chance, and I made the best of it. And so, I don't know if you'd say rewarded them, but certainly said that that's the team I'll go in the Hall of Fame. I know the Yankees have the big name and all of that, Padre, but this was the first Padre. Yeah, before Tony Gwynn, before Hoffman, before all of them. So, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love that answer, and I think it's so unique to kind of, go with what your heart said
Mhm.
you should go with, as opposed to being worried about the big name clout with the Yankees or something like that. So, I absolutely love it. One of the things you just mentioned about the Padres giving you a chance right out of the gate. One of the things I read about you is that you never spent a day in the minor leagues, and that's pretty incredible. I mean, that's just obviously unheard of at this point. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, because I was drafted not only by the Padres in baseball, but I was drafted in basketball because I played that in college as well.
Yeah.
So I was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks and the Utah Stars. It was ABA back then. And then I was drafted by the Vikings. So I had a little bit of leverage. It's not like guys or people would have today, social media and all kinds of money and those. So it was just, I said, look, if I play baseball, I have to go right to the big leagues. They said, all right, all right. They probably figured I'd fail, fall on my face or whatever, because I was only a hitter. How about this? My college coach only let me hit 1 year
Oh my goodness.
in college, a senior year.
Wow.
I mean, think about this. So in the summer I would play and do well. I played up in Alaska for the Alaska Gold Panthers, great collegiate summer league team. We were national champs, 1 year runner-up, 1 year national champs. So I knew how to do my thing, but they didn't let me. Shohei Ohtani's doing what I was doing.
I was gonna ask, yeah.
He's doing now. He may be doing it. I mean, he's awesome. He's an awesome young player, man. And anybody gets a chance, go see him do his thing but I was doing that 50 years ago. in college. And I was hoping I could do it in the big leagues. I wish I had one photograph of me pitching in the major leagues.
Oh,
I don't have any.
Oh man.
What the heck? It is
you
what
know,
it is.
Dave, on this piece here, you're casting a shadow to the left and to the right of you here. Like both of those were like subtle nods to your football career and your basketball career there. But center stage is Dave Winfield, the Hall of Fame baseball player.
Yeah. Okay. I had to look closely. It's like trying to find, little keys there. But
Yep.
no, I appreciate that. I'm glad I did what I did. Today it's tough for a young person playing a sport because so many coaches and leagues, they want to push them into one sport, never let them play anything else. And you really have the chance of burnout or overuse or injuries just playing one sport. So I was able to play other sports, and I would implore and just tell parents, if your son or daughter has a chance to play multiple sports, do that. They meet different people, they exercise different parts of the body, they make different friends, and they may find out in a couple of years, I hate soccer, I should have played baseball, or whatever, or the other way around. So let them see what's out there in the world and what catches on. Everybody thinks their kid is going to, a lot of people, let's say, oh, my son's going to be third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles when he grows up, because he's 5'11" and 11 years old. They think, and the kid grows 2 more inches and he's finished with high school and college. You know what? I should have played soccer or rugby or something. So try everything, kids and parents.
Yeah. Because you were not 6'6" until later in your high school career. You kind of had a late in life growth spurt, right?
Oh yeah. I finished high school. I was 6'2" and a half, maybe 190. 4 more years of collegiate play, international play, competition, socialization. Shoot, 6'6", 220, 225. Man, is that the same guy? And that's from a 35th round to a first round.
Yeah,
So,
that's when you
made the
became
right
Big
choice.
Dave.
Yeah, it was medium Dave before then.
Yeah.
I was Slim Jim, I guess.
Dave, when you were in Alaska, did you have an opportunity to play in the Midnight Sun game?
I did. 2
What was
days
that
ago.
like?
People don't know about that, but the
Oh,
longest day of the year, I forget what day of the month.
the
What month?
21st of June.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So how about this? They start the game at 10 o'clock at night. Don't turn on the lights because you don't need it. The sun's always up. Play through midnight, and then they have a celebration. And then they finish the game. Don't even turn the lights on at night. That's Alaska. It's way up there in the northern hemisphere. And there's stories about that. They did. I will tell this. I haven't told many people. They had, the native Alaskans. They put people on a blanket and throw them up in the air and have fun with that. And they did that and they missed. When the person came down, they rolled off and hurt themselves. It wasn't funny. I'm telling the story now and I can smile, but they were okay. But there you go. Boom. But playing in Alaska was a tremendous experience for me. I tell people that was the kind of a springboard to knowing that I really, really could play. Guys from Arizona State, USC. The coach was Jim Dietz. I loved the guy. He was with San Diego State. He was like a coach of a decade. We got a chance to play in Europe. We played in Haarlem, Holland. We went, there was a Dutch series over there, played against Cuba, Nicaragua, different, things like that. And it just kind of refined and honed my skills. And, I will be forever grateful, for that experience and that opportunity. And a quick story related to that. Here I am, my last year playing, 1995. I'm playing for Cleveland Indians, Dennis Martinez, El Presidente. We're on the bench and we're talking about our life experiences. And he said, Yeah, we played in a tournament in Holland over in, 71 or 72. I said, hey, we did the same thing. Oh, were you from Nicaragua? Yeah, I was Alaska. We played against each other.
Wow,
How about that? You
that's
find
cool.
That's
out,
pretty cool.
yeah, things like that. But that's baseball. It gave me the opportunity to build a name for myself, make money, travel, um, just have a wonderful life. So I'm just so happy that I chose baseball.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are happy you chose baseball, Dave. Um, so one of the things that I've noticed on the cover, Daniel, if you'll bring it back up for us, is we see these 12 stars in the background. We
Mhm.
know you were a 12-time All-Star in a row there. We've got the team names above the title here of all the different names you played for. But in the upper right-hand corner, I see that the price on the comic book cover is 92 cents, and I'm guessing that that is a subtle nod to your big World Series game winner hit back in 1992. Can you take us through that process of what it's like? You're standing in the batter's box, the game is on Big Dave's shoulder, like a real comic book moment in life. What was that like?
For me, look, my entire life, when my brother and I and anybody would finish playing, practicing, or making up games at the end of the day, you'd always end up before you go in. Men on base, game on the line, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Here's the pitch. And you'd hit it. You'd get a hit. You're not going to go home. Oh, I swung and missed. Game's over. No. You don't go home like that. So as far back as I remember, that's the only way that you would finish practice or games or whatever on a positive note, upbeat note. And my first World Series with the Yankees in '81, we didn't have the results that I wanted. We lost to the Dodgers, so let's say the Dodgers won. We didn't lose, and and it's one of those things you say, man, I got to get back. I want to go back. And I wasn't on one of those teams early on that could, go to the World Series all the time. So from '81 to '92, it's over 10 years, 10, 11 years. I got the chance to do it again in Toronto. And it was just 1 year. But how about this? The manager of the Blue Jays, Cito Gaston, we were roommates when I was just starting the game. Now I'm playing for him. And there's so many things, so many stories, but '92 was an incredible year, 1 year in Toronto. My favorite year, 1 year in all of baseball
Oh,
because
wow.
it all came together. It
Yeah.
all came together, and that's what I dreamed about. My dream took a long time to be completely fulfilled, but it did it.
Very cool. So the speech bubble on this cover, I noticed it says you can hit a home run in any field you choose. Now,
Mhm.
Dave, you were the one who suggested that this is what the characters say. Is that correct?
Yes, we had some other ideas, but we just made a modification near the end. And, because people, what is a typical thing that I tell people? It's not that you just have to play sports. That's the only thing you can do in life. You may have a different, I don't know, passion or something that you're good at. And as long as if you love it, liking it, you'll do it for recreation. But if you love it, you can go as far as might imagine. And so I tell that to people and whatever they do, you can accomplish a lot because there's nobody in my family that played baseball. There's nobody that came out that was a millionaire or a billionaire or traveled the world or met 6 presidents or whatever like I have. So you can succeed. If I can succeed, I think they can too. You don't have to be 6'6", 230, and do all of that. A lot of success in a lot of areas nowadays. So
Yeah,
that's my best advice.
that's awesome. I thank you for sharing that, and I love that that was what was chosen as the speech bubble for the cover. I think it's phenomenal and so great. Daniel, is
I
there
gotta ask. No, I gotta. Well, keep your thought. Where can the people get this? Well, tell them.
Well, they can get that. They can get it for another few more days over at popflypopshop.com. Let me put the banners up here. It's available for a few more days. Popflypopshop.com. This collaboration, glad to say that we have autograph options as well as regular pieces and autographed with the Hall of Fame '01 inscription. So there's 3 different options for this week's print. There's about we're halfway there at this point, halfway point right around nowish. So get it before you can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this up at the Hall of Fame? I'm going up there later this month.
Yeah,
they'll be gone. They'll be gone.
There's going to be actually for the last year. There's been 8 of my pieces hanging in the Hall of Fame.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
You got as many pieces as I do up there. What the heck?
They didn't elect me though.
Daniel, are there any questions in the chat that are kind of catching your eye?
Yeah, let me run through this chat here. It's a little bit of a mouthful here, but let me see if I can get it. Now, before I go to this question, Dave, you are one of the last players who played with a helmet without an ear flap. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So this question is sort of along those lines. Shannon Prutney asks, having idolized players like Bob Gibson and playing in an era of great menacing pitchers who took exception with things as small cracking of a smile, let alone showboat, it's obvious the game has changed for batters in part due to body armor. Have you given thought to how your approach to the plate would have changed if elbow guards and other forms of protection were as commonplace during your playing days?
Let me try to shorten or truncate my answer. When I grew up, first learned baseball, they didn't really have the helmets that you see today. It was a little liner that you put inside your cap and keep it in shape, so I never was worried about getting hit in the head. And we used to play games like dodgeball and elimination, so I was always quick on my feet. So I never really got hit in the head or the face. Or I had many friends tell me, "Hey, Dave, hey, Winnie, that's why I quit playing, because you threw the ball hard and you were wild." I just never worried about that. So all the way through college, I didn't wear one. And in the big leagues, I'll tell you, I learned that I needed to step away from the plate because I have a long bat and long arms. And when I'm getting extended and driving the ball, I'm still way off the plate compared to the average guy. They use bats maybe 34 inches long, and I use 35 and a half or 36. My sleeve length is 38. Most dudes 34 maybe. So there's a lot of distance. And if a guy was if he came up and in on me, I knew it was intentional. So then I knew I might have to go out there and speak to him. They didn't mess with me too much. I only got hit, I think, 25 times in my entire career. Wow. There are guys, Don Baylor, a good friend of mine, rest his soul, he got hit more than that in one season. I said, "What are you doing?" "I'm not afraid of them." I said, "Man, but they might, chip a bone but I never really got hit like that. That's why no helmet.
Love it. There's one question, and I like to ask this in every chat that we have. Dave, your legacy, if you could choose your legacy, or you get to choose your legacy, what do you want to be remembered as, Dave Winfield?
It'll be baseball player. However, my biggest achievement is my family. I got a great family. I have a great wife, great kids, 3 kids. And if they grow up to be, good, productive citizens, human beings, take the good part of my life, leave the bad. That would be it. Something you could probably come up with a word bubble or something. Hopefully, we don't have to write any epithets or anything for a long time. So, but that would be it. Baseball, family, and I'll tell you what, the service to others. charitable component, like the foundation I've had, but all the other things that I've done in life. Always relate to that. It wasn't always about me. It was about how can you help uplift somebody else, person, team, community, all those things.
I
So
love
that's
it. Was it your rookie year that you established your foundation, Dave Winfield?
Yeah, we started a scholarship program in back in St. Paul, Minnesota, the Winfield Awards. We've been doing that. I have to say 40 something years. We still do that. We honor the high school kids, minority student athletes, academic achievement, and community service. We've been doing it 40 something years. The current mayor is an award, Winfield Award.
Wow,
How about
awesome.
that?
that's amazing.
That's cool. Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
go back there and take advantage of that now. No, not really. Melvin Carter, he's a great young man, went to Florida A&M, historically black school down in Tallahassee. Very smart. You'll see him on probably the national stage at some point, but yeah.
That's cool.
The Winfield Awards.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite things about you was, despite all of the success on the field, you only ever heard good things about Dave Winfield and how humble he was, how much a role in his community he played. And, one of the things that really struck a chord with me was even early on in your career, you went out of your way to buy tickets for families in the San Diego area that couldn't afford to go to Padres games. And you gave those families experiences that they'll never forget, to have an opportunity to go together as a family to a ball game is just that's just one of the my favorite stories I've heard about any level of pro ball.
Oh, Anna, yeah, we started that, with strictly volunteers, people that loved the way I played and my personality, and they just supported whatever we did. So we started with taking kids to games, and we had non-invasive health screenings. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to really shrink it into a small package here. The All-Star game. Check this out. Was my second one was in San Diego in 1978. First one, 77 in New York. There was no such thing as an open practice. There was no such thing as a fan fest, or there was none of that. It came to San Diego and everybody said, Dave, how are we going to go to the game? How we participate? I don't know. Let me think about it for a minute. So I had a great game. They interviewed me, and then I just got so excited. I said, we're going to have a party for all the kids in San Diego. And I could just see my volunteers back and saying, what did he just say? So we had a big party in Mission Valley, if anybody knows San Diego, for the kids. So we had food, music, drinks. I got about 10 of the ball players. We signed autographs. And then I asked the Padres, would you please open the stadium and let people watch us practice? And things are so business-like and buttoned down now. They said, yeah, why not? It would never happen today.
Right.
They opened up the stadium and let them see the batting practice and everything else. And it was so successful, just spur of the moment, each subsequent year, Major League Baseball took the idea and ran with it. And then it's evolved now. Fan Fest, Home Run Derby, but there's so many elements. That originated in San Diego, 1978.
Dave Winfield invented FanFest.
Yep, he did. He sure did.
Hey, and you look at it, you say, how could this be? That's the way the world was. These things didn't exist before then, and it's just creative. Let's try to do it. Even the places where the guys, you get a section of the stands and somebody sponsors it or whatever. Yeah, I was the first to do it. Nobody did that. Everybody does that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no one had foundations. They do now. But I didn't know any different. I wasn't scared.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Kids, take that to heart. You never know what you can invent.
Yeah, that's great advice. I love it so much. I've so enjoyed talking with you both. But Daniel, can you put the cover back up one more time as we'll run through the spiel of this is available through Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So popflypopshop.com. And as Daniel mentioned before, there are a couple different options. You can buy the cover as is, you can buy an autograph version or the version with an autograph and the Hall of Fame '01 inscription as well. So Popfly Pop Shop again, popflypopshop.com. And I just I've really so enjoyed chatting with you, Dave, and with you, Daniel, and thanks for letting me kind of, step in for Evan.
Oh, of course, of course. Thank you for doing this, Anna. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Daniel, thank you. It was outstanding. I enjoyed this.
Oh, the joy is mine, Dave. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Dave Winfield.
Incredible. Oh, how about those stories?
I know it's amazing. I feel like we're of the same era, and a big part of Popfly, the whole project is to draw these guys as how they felt, and we're little kids with our 10-year-old eyes looking up at these giant, men doing their, and it's just they are superheroes, and this one was particularly fun because it particularly leaned into that just yeah, 10-year-old eyes looking at this giant guy who takes up the entire frame. It's been so fun. What a treat.
Yeah. 6'6", 240 pounds. So, a big Dave in both a physical sense and a just emotional and community keystone sense
Mhm.
as well. So that was probably my favorite part of the whole discussion is learning so much more about him and finding out, meet your heroes, I would say, in
Oh
this
yeah.
instance for sure, because what a treat that was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting to me too. You're having no template to go off of. Your rookie year, you start a foundation. It's not like just the thing you do. It's the thing he wanted to do, and he made happen. I think that really says a lot about him and his character.
Yeah. He was the first to do it as an active player, I think, at the time. So that's just incredible. And so many others have followed in his footsteps and, made tremendous differences in the world as a
Yeah,
result. So
totally. So some comments that are still going here in the chat. It says, so he is single-handedly inspired other baseball players with foundations. Amazing.
yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Anna, for this. I appreciate it. Again, if you're just joining us, you missed a great interview with Dave Winfield. Go back and watch the replay. And the Dave Winfield piece, which I'll throw up here on the screen just one last time, is available for just a few more days over at popflypopshop.com. It's available till 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and after that, it is retired, and you are forced to go hunt for it on the secondary market. And autograph inscriptions are available. So get yours while you can't. While you can't, before you can't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Anna. It's been great. Standing in for Evan. I really appreciate it. We got to talk a few weeks ago and hit it off, and I'm glad that you were able to make some time and chat with Big Dave with me. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thrilled. What a blast. I can't thank you enough for thinking of me and giving me the opportunity. So thank you.
Of course. All right, everyone. Well, take care. Have a good one, and we will see you later. Bye.